Welcome back to Arts Core. Today we will be learning how to draw 3 different skin tones. So here are the 3 shades we will be creating. The first 2 colors are dark umber and burnt ochre, then Dahlia purple, peach, pink, sand, and white. Now, in case you don't have the exact shades, you can use shades which are similar to these colors, but these are the colors I use frequently for skin tones. Another thing is a lot of people use blues and greens for undertones, but this is more towards the warm side. So for the lightest shade, I usually start off with sand as the base color, and small circular motions are mostly preferred. Once you have covered the entire area, the darkest shade we will be using here is peach. So go in with peach and make a second layer. Now, since we have a sphere shape, there will be a section for highlight, which I will be leaving empty. The bottom left curve is going to be darker to give that sphere look. Now when you're actually working with the face or arm skin tones, check out which area is the darkest and apply multiple layers of the darkest color there. This will help give a nice rich look. The third color I will be using is pink. Now when you're drawing your skin tone, you need to keep an eye out for if your colors are more pink or more peach, and accordingly apply the layers to get the accurate shade. Here, I'm still not going over the area of highlight as we want that to be the lightest. At this point, I'm taking the peach shade again and going over for another layer. Now, I will be making the curve of the left side obviously darker and then shading it lightly as it moves towards the highlights. Now the next color is sand. You can also use a lighter yellow shade. The important part of this is that it helps neutralize the base pink shades. This is also optional in case you want the skin tone to be more pink. You don't really have to add this color. Now since this is the lightest skin tone, you can use the white to blend out the entire area. Now here, I just want the skin tone be a little more natural, so I'm adding another layer of sand and then another layer of peach. It is extremely important that you shade very lightly after you blend out using the white. Otherwise, the lines will be too dark and it will just ruin the natural look. After these few layers of shading are done, you can go ahead and blend it out with white once again. Keep in mind that if you want to make it more pink, you can add peach or pink instead of yellow. It is completely up to your preference. Here is the final look for the lightest skin tone. The second is going to be a mid-tone. So again, starting off with sand as the base layer. The darkest color for this skin tone is burnt ochre. So start applying that on the rim and fading it inwards from the bottom left side. Now the next color is pink. Overlap a little with burnt ochre and fade it more towards the highlight. The following color is peach. Overlap a little with the pink and then shade lightly as you move towards the circle part, which is your highlight. Now reapply the burnt ochre in the same areas, but this time apply a little bit more pressure. So for the next shade, use my favorite color, Dahlia Purple, and this is amazing as it will give a nice, rich skin tone. Then continue applying the second layer with the pink. Now, as we know, skin tones are not perfect and we want multiple layers. So the next layer is going to be with Peach and then another layer with Sand. Now these two shades are actually completely optional, and if you feel like with the previous layers you were able to create your desired skin tone, then you do not need to apply these colors. Now time for the blending. As we used white in the first skin tone because it was the lightest, we will be using burnt ochre for the darkest areas and peach for the remaining areas. Keep in mind to leave the highlight alone, as that is the only area which will be blended using white. Now here it mostly seems done. I like to usually neutralize it using the sand in the end, so that's what I'm doing here, but again, this is very optional. And here we have your mid skin tone. Now time for the darkest skin tone. So start with sand for the base once again. The darkest color for this skin tone is dark umber, so start coloring in with that and shade lightly as you create the crescent shape. Now I'm using burnt ochre as the second shade. Again, keep in mind to leave the highlights empty, as that will be the lightest area. Now create your next layer using Dahlia purple. This is mostly like a transition color. Now take the burnt ochre to lightly shade over the part of highlight, and then this is the same color we will use for the blending. Now, in case you feel like your darkest area need to have more color, go in with dark umber and Dahlia purple to make more layers. Now again, use the burnt ochre to blend it out, and use peach to blend the lighter areas out, and then again a touch of white for the highlight. Now I'm taking the color sand and doing the same thing which I did for the previous two skin tones, just a light brush up over this color. And that is it. Here we have the darkest skin tone. So these are the three colors that I created in this video, and these are the three colors I created previously. So as you can see, the previous colors are a little more pinker, and the ones I created today, which are on the bottom, are a little more yellow. So in short, you can play with colors and create your desired skin tone. I hope this tutorial helped, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.